Hi, my name is Kate Walton. I'm a principal research scientist at ACT Center for Social, Emotional, and Academic Learning. Today, I'd like to share with you my thoughts and some research on the value of social and emotional learning. Let's get started. The education system is at a really interesting turning point. Long gone are the days when curriculum focused solely on math and reading skills. And more schools are also taking a more holistic approach to student development and are focusing on social and emotional learning, or SEL, in addition to core academic skills. Policymakers and educators realize that in order for a student to be successful, he or she needs to exhibit a host of social and emotional skills. As a result, we're seeing the implementation of SEL into schools' curriculum and culture. Employers are catching on as well and are placing greater emphasis on social emotional skills. As a researcher and as a parent myself, I would ask the important question of why. To answer this question, I will refer to 3 lines of research and will reference a number of meta-analyses, which are really nice tools for summarizing large bodies of literature. First, there's meta-analytic evidence demonstrating the importance of social and emotional skills for academic success. When students are in primary school, cognitive ability or intelligence is the best predictor of GPA, although social and emotional skills do have significant effects on GPA as well. By the time students reach secondary education, the role of cognitive ability drops, and one social and emotional skill, namely conscientiousness, becomes almost as important in predicting school success. When students reach post-secondary schooling, conscientiousness is just as important as cognitive ability in predicting GPA. This is good news. Why? Because the second line of research involves the development of such skills. What's interesting is that there was a long-standing notion that personality does not change after early adulthood. In fact, it was said to be, quote, set like plaster. However, I co-authored a meta-analysis of personality trait change over the lifespan, which showed this to be untrue. We showed that individuals become more conscientious, agreeable, emotionally stable, open, and socially dominant throughout the lifespan. This development is particularly notable in adolescence and early adulthood when the effects are sizable, but growth continues into middle and old age. This summarizes what we might call normative change. That is, on average, most people improve on these skills simply with age. But what's really great is that we don't have to just sit around and wait to mature. Instead, research shows that people's skills can be enhanced through intervention. Another meta-analysis showed that interventions have the capacity to enhance these skills even within relatively short periods of time. Now, these were primarily clinical interventions, but studies aimed specifically at after-school SEL programs show a positive impact on students as well. These types of programs are hugely beneficial for improving students' social and emotional skills and academic achievement. And what's more is that they're relatively inexpensive to implement. One study of 6 social and emotional skill interventions showed an average benefit to cost ratio of roughly 11 to 1. So clearly the return on investment is high. This brings me to the third and final line of work. Employers are increasingly realizing the value of social and emotional skills. Consider 2 examples. In a recent survey, U.S. employers were asked about top attributes they seek in job candidates. Nearly 83% said the ability to work in a team. Around 70% named leadership and work ethic. But more employers name these characteristics than analytic and quantitative skills. As another example, take the 2017 Washington Post article about Google. When you think of a successful Google employee, you probably imagine someone who's exceedingly talented in STEM skills. It turns out, among the 8 most desirable employee skills, STEM expertise came in dead last. The top 7 were all social and emotional skills, such as having empathy or being a good communicator. Finally, I would note that the value of social and emotional skills does not stop at school or the workplace. These skills are associated with things like relationship satisfaction and happiness, and even physical and mental health.